It's Monday, which means it's story time. I'm so excited to be sharing some time with you today and going into a Bible story. Hi guys, is everybody comfy? I know I am. Let's get started on our new story. We're going to read the story of the Tower of Bable. Some people say Babel and some people say Bable, but let's get started anyway. It was a new start. The great flood had stopped with all the fighting and cheating and lying, and now Noah and his kids had a new chance to live as God's friends, the way they had always tried to live, sharing love and kindness instead of meanness and hate. The first thing Noah did was he built an altar where he could give gifts to God. Noah gave gifts to God and thanked God for his new chance in a new world. And God told Noah and his kids how he wanted them to live, and they promised that they would do their best to live that way. And it went pretty well for a while. But Noah's kids had kids, and their kids had kids, and their kids had kids, grandkids and great-grandkids and great-great-grandkids. They started building houses, and then they built a whole city. They were very proud of their city. "What a city we have built," they said. "What else can we build? What if we build a tower? A tower that reached to the sky? Wouldn't that make us look strong? Building a tower, well, doesn't seem like a big deal. Building a tall tower didn't seem like a big deal either. Building a city didn't seem like a big deal, but it was a big deal to build a tower." What they were really saying was this: if we all live in one place, we can protect ourselves and we can feed ourselves, and a great tower will make us feel strong. Then we won't need a strong God. We will be the strong ones. Remember, God didn't want people to stay in one place. He wanted them to cover the whole earth and make it like the Garden of Eden, filled with beauty and order and plenty. And he wanted his special creatures, his friends, to rely on him for safety and food. And he wanted them to trust in his strength, not on their own, to build things together with him, not on their own. So as these grandkids and great-grandkids of Noah began building their mighty tower to the sky, God did something interesting. He scrambled their words. God gave them different languages so that they couldn't understand each other. If they couldn't understand each other, they couldn't work together to build their tower. They couldn't work together to continue building their big city. And sure enough, since they couldn't understand each other, different groups and families wandered off from the city to live in different parts of the world, just like God wanted. Little cities sprouted up all over. The great tower never got built. So, did all the people say they were sorry for trying to live without God? Did they trust in God again? Did they stop sinning and start spreading beauty and order and plenty throughout the world? Well, not exactly. Wherever there are groups of people living together, there was sin. There was more fighting and more cheating and more lying and more hurting. Even with their second chance, the grandkids and the great-grandkids of Noah made the same mistakes that Adam and Eve had made long before. They stopped listening to God, and they started listening to that other voice. The voice of the sneaky snake that said, "You won't be happy if God is in charge. You should be in charge instead." A voice that lied. God saw his favorite creatures hurting each other and wandering farther and farther away from him. So God knew it was time for his great rescue plan. A plan that didn't start with a huge flood or a big boat. A plan that started with one single person, a guy named Abram. So next week, come on back and we will read the story of Abram and hear about God's promises. We'll see you then. Bye.